The OECS feature series shines a light on Stixx Mitchell, international drummer and OECS youth ambassador. Growing up in the city center of Castries in his homeland of St. Lucia made for a childhood that was music-filled. Stixx reminisces on elements of home life that influenced his love of music.
We grew up in town, in Castries in the CDC, so every piece of entertainment passed in front of where we live on Jeremy Street. Salvation Army, they're singing and praising, there's music on the market step. Politicians come to campaign, there's music on the market step. It's Juve morning, the music on the road. Bands from Guadeloupe, Martinique, you know, percussionists, people are drumming, carnival, all the bands. And every time the bands would pass, like, I'm amazed by musicians. I was like, yo, look at these dudes, man. And I always wanted to do that.
Culturally, Stixx's passion to pursue music would face a bit of an uphill climb, as Caribbean parents tend to encourage the pursuit of traditional careers. Determined, Stixx found a balance by laying a solid foundation with traditional studies while pursuing his dream.
My mom, she was a disciplinarian, she still is, but I mean, she just did what every parent would naturally do, and she ensured that, you know, I kept focused on my academics, you know, and I got an education, and she saw it fitting that I understood that, you know, I needed to have my, you know, I mean, just to have an education. So she didn't necessarily want me to be a lawyer or a doctor, but she's like, you're going to go to school and you're going to learn and you're going to come out with something. So I did do my exams, I got my CXCs, I did get, you know, a certification. But however, when I got to a suitable age to decide that, you know, that's what I wanted to do, I said, hey mom, well, this is what I want to do. So she invested in getting me my first drum kit, you know, and that's how it started.
The road to success was not easy. It required innumerable hours invested in bettering his craft. Stixx fondly remembers his first professional milestone as a musician that he considers his breakthrough moment.
My breakthrough moment, musically, professionally, was the day I got chosen to play for one of the Marleys. That changed my life. Yeah, to be chosen by Stephen Marley to be one of their musicians is one of the most amazing things to happen. That family is recognized as one of the greatest families in reggae music in the industry because their father, Bob Marley, is a living legend. You know, he lived and he created, you know, and he's passed away. You know, he would have been 72 this year, 2017. But he's created something that will live on forever, you know, his music. And people have respect, not only, they didn't respect only his music, but his mannerisms, the way he carried himself, what he stood for. And to be part of that as a St. Lucian, you know, to play for one of the Marleys, you know, that made me the first drummer out of St. Lucia in the entire Eastern Caribbean to be affiliated with the Marleys. So that's something that I accomplished that, you know, brought a sense of purpose to me. And then obviously gained a lot of attention because now everybody's like, yo, this St. Lucian drummer playing for Marley. Marley's Jamaican, you know, reggae music is originated in Jamaica. So why didn't they get a drummer from Jamaica? So then a lot of Jamaican musicians, I have a lot of Jamaican friends who are musicians who also tour with other artists. And now, you know, we converse and they're like, yo, when you going back out? And, you know, so I mean, the breakthrough was then. And after that, I got endorsed by multiple companies in the United States where I have the gear that I use on the road. For instance, it could be drum heads, accessories, my drumstick. I have my very own signature drumstick. You know, and that was my first endorsement, and to me this is the body of work I'll never forget because it has my brand on here, my name, my signature, and I got endorsed by Regal Tip out of the United States. So this is a body of work that shows that, you know, I've accomplished something. So this is just one of the few endorsements, but getting these, something like that, you know, kind of allowed things to change. You know, people actually see you in a different perspective, you know. They understand it's more than just having fun.
Stixx's success has only continued to grow. He now lives his dream playing for audiences across the world as the lead drummer for international musical artiste Collie Buddz. But the best part, Stixx says, is making his parents proud.
The best thing for me is like I make my parents proud. Like, because my mom, she still works, but she's worked hard. My father, my stepdad, you know. I mean, they've done so much to instill great mannerisms, you know, just good factors that would allow me to propel me to be the person that I am today. So doing what I do every day when I play a show, sometimes we have like thousands of people in front of us and I'm like, you know, where's my mom or where's my dad? They could see me, you know. I could show them video, but it's not the same.
We caught up with Stixx on a visit home to St. Lucia, where in addition to spending time with his family, he also dedicates time to empower the youth.
I remember when I was once, you know, a student, so now to actually come back home and get phone calls and people, you know, from parents, I get phone calls from teachers, from radio announcers, you know, and they're like, yo, you have to share your gift, and, you know, a lot of kids want to know, you know, more about you, you know, and there are teachers who call me and say, you know, come to the school, you know, the kids would like to hear from you, they would like to know what it's like to be, you know, in the capacity of what you're doing. So it feels not just like a superstar for the fame, but I feel strong, you know, I feel accomplished, you know, I could come back home and actually give, you know, insight to, you know, not exactly how to do it the way that I did it, because that might not happen for another kid, but I could at least give some advice, you know. I'd tell them stuff that I would want to hear when I was that age, so I, you know, express, you know, give them factors things that they would definitely need, you know, to pay attention to, and ensure that they focus and pay attention to every step that they make in life. Because when we get to a certain age, like for me, I'm no longer a teenager, no longer in my 20s, you know, so I'm in my early 30s right now. And I mean, a few years ago, yo, if I knew what I knew now, then things would have been a lot different. But that's where experience comes in, you know, so I have no regrets, but experience is key, you know.
When asked what advice he would give to youth in the OECS that may be interested in following his career path, Stixx outlined two virtues instilled by his parents at a young age: discipline and humility.
You have to embrace certain things as a youngster. You know, your parents try to instill certain things in you and discipline you. That's the first thing you have to accept. You have to embrace discipline. You have to learn to be humble. Humility carries you very far, and it doesn't matter how talented you are or how, you know, how technical you can be at whatever you do. If you're not disciplined or humble, or you're not a pleasant person, or, you know, approachable, or somebody just people feel gravitated to speak to you and, you know, approach you, then your talent or your gift is of absolutely no use to you.
In his own words, Stixx says, being true to himself throughout the experiences over the years has helped him to fully unlock the gift that he was blessed with.
You have to give thanks to the Almighty Father, because that's where we get our strength, life, you know, and good health to just keep going. Because for me, as a professional musician, a lot of guys started before me, and I was not the most technical drummer at the time. But over the period of time, I've unlocked my gift. And I have a gift which was given to me by the Most High. I am a youth ambassador for the OECS, and it is my pleasure to spread positivity and try to empower the youth of today, for they're going to be the future of tomorrow.